All right. The lineup for today will be Scott Nalawi and Yuho on the front row, Nick Sorensen and Simon Zierk on the second row, Giancarlo and Avery Walker on the third row, Mike Marshall, Mike Doling on the fourth row, Jason Wahlberg and Chris Perry rounding out the top 10. Harry and Janik 11th and 12th. 13th is Ronnie. Ryan Snyder is 14th. Ray Bartnowski 15th. Daniel Wareham 16th. Manuel Esteban 17th. Matthew Allen 18th. Clayton Allen 19th. And Martin Johnson is 20th. Missing a few drivers here this week. Obviously, everyone in the field has a couple of drop races, and a few of those guys out today will be using drop races for today. All right, 20-car field. 1.27 mile track with 9 turns. What could possibly go wrong here? These are some of the best road racers on iRacing, though. This is going to be an exciting battle. As the pace car gets rolling, pace car is in. They're going to come out of that final sweeping right-hander and get the green flag from Barney the Flagman. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. Scott Nalawi is down and away. Off into turn 1, and let's see what happens behind. A lot of 2 wide. Nobody trying to duck it in and make it 3 wide this early on. Everybody makes it through turn 1, and some of the guys coming through turn 2 perfectly clean. Scott Nalawi already starting to open up a little bit of a gap. And most of the field already single file. And now the passing and making moves will begin as they complete the first lap. And here comes Harry in the Ford. Down through the final sweeping turn, Harry is already up 2 spots. Down into the first turn, and it looks like Harry is out braking everybody right now. Interesting to see that out of that Ford that he has as much maneuverability as he starts. Oh, did they touch? Jason Wahlberg goes backwards just a little bit. I could not tell if they touched there, but it was awfully close. Let's try and get a look at the front of Harry's car and see if he's got a little part of it knocked in. No, he does not. They may not have touched. It could be a situation where Jason just saw how much faster the Ford was and lets him go. Two laps down. They are expecting to see about 65 to 67 laps out of this race. Given how quickly the laps go, expect to see pit stops between lap 28 to 35. Yuho just ran the fastest lap so far and is starting to regain Nalawi now. And where is our points leader? He has picked up a spot. He is now up to 4th. And closing in on the Audi of Nick Sorensen. Yuho, last season's champion, currently running in 2nd. Nick Sorensen definitely making that Audi work here, as he seems to be gaining on Yuho here. But last time by, it was actually Simon Zierk just ran the fastest lap. And there you can see where everybody runs on track by their positions. And you can see just how tight this track really, really is. Scott Malawi has opened up a 1.4 second lead over the second place car of Yuho. Nick Sorensen in third. Giancarlo now in fourth. Simon Zierk in fifth. Avery Walker in sixth. So 2/3 of the Audis are in the top 10. But it is Porsche 1 and 2. Harry in the lone Ford is up to 8th now. And Nick Sorensen. Oh, Nick had some trouble. Let's see what happened. Overcooked it out of the first turn, out of the first hairpin into the hay bales on the outside, and that is another problem. If a car spins here, there is not a lot of room to maneuver around a spinning race car or a car that's having problems, and it is very difficult for that driver to get back out on track. Nick Sorensen went from about 4th back to about 9th. There's a little bit of a battle going on back behind. That's Janet Gunther looking to the inside on Ronnie. Looks like Ronnie cleared him. I think Ronnie was actually picking up a position. Janet was trying to hold on. Giancarlo now up to 3rd after that incident, and Simon Zierk still all over the back bumper. Avery Walker closing in on these guys, but Scott Malawi just ran the fastest lap of the race, which is a 1/10.5 faster than everybody else's fastest lap. We're going to have to keep a close eye on Scott. He's going to be in lap traffic before you know it with the speed he is running. Things will get very, very interesting once he hits lap traffic, and it looks like Martin Johnson and Daniel Wareham are neither one of them took to the grid. So 18th place Matthew Allen is at the back of the field. That Ford of Harry, he is now up to 7th place after starting in 11th. And he's closing in on the back bumper of Mike Marshall. Meanwhile, 8th, 9th, and 10th. I'm sorry, 10th, 11th, and 12th are still nose to tail. Mike Dolling, Ray Bartanowski, and Chris Perry all right there together. Ray Bartanowski almost got to the back bumper of Mike Dolling. Mike's got a new paint scheme this week. Jason Wahlberg currently in 8th. The second Lamborghini on the track. Sorensen has lost another spot. He is back to 9th after that incident. And let's take a look at the nose of that car. He managed to get on the brakes. That's a low speed section of the track. Doesn't look like it did much damage to the car. Matthew Allen has had an off track. We're probably going to see quite a few off tracks here today. Just a bit of a slide. He saves it. No, and ends up in the hay bales, but manages to save the car. So many spots on this track are very, very tricky. If you get on the brakes too hard, you go around. If you get on the gas too hard, you go around. Ray Bartanowski and Mike Dolan continue to battle. This is for 10th place, and Bartanowski now to the inside. He's looked to the inside a couple of times, but he's got the line through turn 1, but off the turn. Oh, man, they are so close. Off the turn, this gives Mike Doling an opportunity here because now he's on the inside. And we could see these two run side by side for a while now that they're set. No! Looks like Doling manages to pull away. Bartanowski keeps looking for it. He's got the outside line now. He'll carry a little bit more momentum. The BMW better off the turns here today. Plus, he'll have the high line through the final turn. That'll help him have a little bit more momentum. Manages to hold the Porsche down. Oh, they touch! They both save it! Wow, what a save! What a save by both Mike Doling and Ray Bartanowski. You know, Chris Perry right behind him was a little bit worried, and worth noting, here comes Ronnie. Ronnie's in this mix as well. He's got Janik all over the back bumper while these two are side by side back. Oh no! Ray Bartanowski goes around. Ray had been pushing so hard trying to catch up. He just clipped a bit of the grass there and it turned him around. He had such a good run going. That is a bit heartbreaking for Ray. We'll see how he does, if he can get back up. Of course, we talked about how hard it is to recover here and how many positions you lose. They were battling for 10th place. He's now back to 16th. Meanwhile, up front, Yuho has had an off track. Doesn't look like he lost much ground, though. Currently running insane. Oh, he just drove off into the grass, managed to hold on to the car. Yeah, that grass definitely got him, Harley. That was a truly impressive save by those two drivers. And while all of that is happening, Giancarlo, the lead Lambo, the points leader coming into the day, he's up to third now. And Yuho 2.5 seconds back. Obviously, the Lambo has not been the fastest on track this week. At this track, it is a little bit tricky. He is managing to make that car work, though. Said he is one of the few drivers in the field that is sticking with his car throughout the entire season. Most of these guys are swapping cars based on the track, and Ronnie has had an incident. Ronnie, another one. Oh, did they touch? He gets off into the turn, got a little bit loose. Janik gets together with him. Oh, and he comes down. The bad luck for Ray Bartanowski continues here. And again, Ronnie has been working his way up through the field the last couple of weeks. He is now back to 16th. Ray Bartanowski managed to come through that pickup 14th, but he now has some damage on the front of that car. Looks like a little dent, a little bit, the hood a little bit banged up, and the right front a little bit banged up. Primarily aero damage. Aero damage, not a huge problem here. Meanwhile, our leader, Scott Malloy, is starting to get into lap traffic. He's going to come around Matthew Allen here at a moment. Worth noting, both Ferraris are at the back of the field. Manuel Esteban and Matthew Allen, both Ferraris, are 17th and 18th here. Giancarlo still in third. He's got the lap traffic to negotiate as well. Might have an opportunity here. We've seen Giancarlo navigate through lap traffic so well in recent weeks, but as mentioned, that Lambo definitely not the fastest car for this track. And we talk about how tight this track is and the low speeds. Let's take an actual look. Let's look at Scott's speeds as he goes around the track, specifically when he gets to the back straightaway. Last week we were seeing 150 to 160 miles an hour. We've seen 165 in recent weeks. I guarantee you he's not going to get that high today. Coming through this this turn onto that long straightaway. This is where he will reach top speed down this long straightaway. And let's see what he gets to. 132 miles an hour before he gets to the brakes. Really sends it off the corner. You see, most of the race, he is under 100 miles an hour. Gets up to about 110 through that section after turn 1. Has to check up through the kink here. Down in the 80s, back up to 100. Barely clipping 101 miles an hour before he gets into that hairpin and down the long straightaway. It looked like he kicked out just a little bit there. And Jason Wahlberg just had an incident. Oh, we've seen this a bunch of times. He just gets in there and gets the brakes. The car turns around. That turn last night, that turn was the one that killed a lot of drivers. Harry is on pit road already. Could this be his stop? Can he go from here on fuel? He is not taking tires. This will be interesting to see. What he just took fuel. He is off pit road. So Harry, the first driver to come to pit road, he's already back up off pit road as the leader comes around. And if he can keep himself in front of the leaders, he definitely has a fast car here today. Things could be very, very interesting very quickly. His fastest lap, a 53.44. The leader's 53.18. He is not far off the pace. Chris Perry now on pit road. We're seeing him short pit here today. We know Harry only took fuel. His pit stop time was 12.5 seconds. We'll have to keep a close eye and see how many of these guys, especially the guys that wait till the halfway point, how many of them are going to take tires. Most of these guys said they were not going to take tires because you end up in a situation where you have to pass more cars. But now that Scott is starting to lap more of the field, and Yuho sends it into turn 1 really hard, trying to find a way around Scott Malawi. Yuho is closed back up within a half a second. Manuel Gomez Esteban has been in an incident. That is the other Ferrari. And the same turn we have seen, this time he gets on the gas a little too hard off the turn, spins into the kink. Harry has some of the best wreck avoidance today. Everything has happened right in front of Harry, but none of it has caught him. Harry now up to 16th after starting in 11th, and he is making that Ford work really, really well today. Yuho keeps trying to send it into turn 1. Yuho is definitely looking for a way around Scott Malawi, last season's champion. Oh my goodness, almost gets into the back bumper. Scott's not going to give him an inch, but I don't think he can hold Yuho off much longer. Yuho's got a ton of speed as they go around the Ferrari. That is Manuel Esteban. And now Yuho's got the inside. Oh no, Yuho gets loose off the turn. Yuho had made up all that ground, got the nose to the inside just a little too soon on the gas, and around. He manages to save it, gets out of the gas, but loses a ton of ground. Now Scott's lead is over 1 second. But let's see how long it takes Yuho to close that back down. Giancarlo in third is 2.8 seconds back. He is actually losing ground to the leaders. That is not something we have said at all this season. Usually Giancarlo is out front just walking away from the field, but here he is today, third place and losing ground to the two leaders. We'll have to ask him either after the race or next week. We'll have to ask him if he's reconsidering changing cars this season, because obviously the Lambo's struggling here a bit tonight. Giancarlo up to third. Jason Wahlberg maintaining ninth place right now, but he is covered up in guys that want to get around him, like Ryan Snyder, who has made his way into the top 10. Clayton Allen, who started in 19th, is now up to 11th. Haven't talked about Clayton at all, but he has just managed to keep that car out of trouble. He's had some fast laps here and continuing to march his way forward. Ray Bartnowski, who had problems earlier, has made his way up to 11th. Now Jason Wahlberg has gone off track. There's Jason in the orange Lambo. Oh, so wide through the final turn into the outside wall. That is tricky. If you send it in there too hard, that will happen every time. Nick Sorensen, who was extremely fast in practice, coming through that same turn we have seen be problematic for a lot of drivers, and now he struggles to get back on the track as cars coming through the kink there. Sorensen still in 10th place though. Clayton Allen, just avoiding chaos, has made his way up to 9th. Biggest mover of the race so far. He's already picked up 10 spots, and he's closing in on Ryan Snyder. Scott Malawi out front. Yuho has closed the gap down to 3/4 of a second. Yuho was looking to the inside, coming to the long straightaway. Loses the back end a little bit and has he'd lost over a second on the leader, but has now started to close that gap back up. Nick Sorensen is on pit road. I stand corrected. It looks like he had an issue that might have put him clipping the entrance to pit road. That was the previous one. Let's see if we can see what happened with Nick here. Yeah, he got loose and was having to save it. Clipped the entrance to pit road, but managed to pull back out onto track. And meanwhile, Yuho right back to the back bumper on Scott Malawi. There you see Clayton Allen in 9th place, biggest mover of the race. Ray Bartnowski, after the issues earlier, has managed to work his way back up to 10th. And Malawi and Yuho continue battling. It looks like Malawi was trying to break the draft on Yuho just a little bit there down the long straightaway. As they cross the start-finish line, it looks like Malawi gets off that final corner better, but holy cow, Yuho sends it in. These two guys could be some of the drivers we see hit pit road. They'll be hitting at the halfway point. I would almost predict that at least one of these two drivers is going to get tires. Oh, wow, Yuho gets right there. Because they are wearing the tires out so much. Let's take a look at the track temperature. You can see it's 113 degree track temperature. They are melting those tires. And based on their lap speeds, as Yuho gets to the inside coming out of the final turn. We've seen him get down into turn one much better than Scott. He's going to do it this time. He's got the nose in coming through turn one. And clears Malawi out of turn one. Yuho to the lead. Malawi's not giving up yet though. And while they're battling, Giancarlo has closed the gap back down to 2 seconds from the leaders. Simon Zierk all over his back bumper as well. This could be a 4-car race before too much longer. Yuho already trying to open up a little bit of a gap on Scott. There you see Giancarlo and Simon Zierk right behind him. And Avery Walker now into the picture in 5th. What an exciting pass for the lead. Let's see if we can get another view of that one. There you see, they come through that final corner. Yuho just sends it through there. They get side by side off. Scott had the advantage with the momentum and the runoff, but Yuho has been so much better down into the corner. And off of the first hairpin, Yuho just manages to monster away from him. Avery Walker just had an incident. Let's see what happened. Coming through that second to last hairpin. Oh, just a little too much brake into the turn. Sends it around. He was in 5th place. Gets back out on track onto the straightaway, but a lot slower. He's going to lose a ton of ground there. But he does manage to hold on to 5th place. Mike Marshall now up to 6th. He's about 5 seconds back. Mike Dolling in 7th. He is 15 seconds back from Marshall, and he's got Ryan Snyder, Clayton Allen right on his back bumper. Interesting to note, the top two are both Porsches, then the Lamborghini of Giancarlo, Simon Zierk in the BMW in 4th, the Audi of Avery Walker in 5th, then 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th are all Porsches. 10th place, Ray Bartnowski is the other BMW. Yuho looked like he was going to pull away a little bit there from Malawi, but he has not been able to get very far yet. Giancarlo had the opportunity, picked up a little bit of time on the two leaders when they were battling, but now he is losing ground again. He went from 2 seconds back to almost 3 seconds back. Simon Zierk right there with him in 4th place. And Avery Walker just losing a ton of ground after the incident a couple laps ago. And worth noting, we saw Harry, he was the first one to pit road for his fuel stop. No tires, just fuel. He is currently in 16th and still maintaining the lead lap. But there you see the leaders are not far behind. And he really has to get on it. Yuho is coming. He has got to stay on the lead lap as long as possible. Once pit stops start cycling through, I would imagine he's going to pick up quite a few positions. He is still quite fast. As we approach the halfway point, everybody could go the distance from that point. The question really is going to become, how many of these guys, everybody, or most of the drivers saying they are not taking tires in this race, how many of these guys have rethought that position? How many of them are going to take tires knowing that tire wear is brutal here? Especially with this track temperature at 113 degrees right now, they are just melting those fronts, especially that left front tire. It is getting so much more wear than the other three. The front tires in these cars obviously getting a lot more wear, but normally it's fairly evenly balanced, but at this track, that left front just takes so much more abuse. It's over the course of an hour-long race here, you're talking 10% more tire wear to the left front than the right. Yuho has finally started to gap Scott Nalawi. Now 1.7 seconds back in second place. Giancarlo is 2.5 seconds back from Nalawi. Simon Zierk in fourth, still right with him. Avery Walker now 8 seconds back from Simon. Mike Marshall another 4 seconds back. Then the battle for 7th, 8th, and 9th is going on, just 15 seconds behind, as Ryan Snyder had one heck of a run into turn 1. Ryan Snyder has been looking for a way around Mike Dolling for about the last 10 minutes. Just can't get there. And Clayton Allen, the biggest mover of the race so far, back in 9th place. He's started in 19th. He is right there, has the opportunity. If either of these drivers, Ryan Snyder or Michael Dolling, if either one of them has an issue, he's going to continue marching forward, and he is definitely not slow here today. He is running equal to and faster than the two cars in front of him. It might be just a matter of time for Clayton Allen to pick up a couple more spots. How far forward he can go is the question. He is as fast or faster than everybody all the way up through 5th place. Yuho's lead just shrunk dramatically. Half of a second on the last lap is what he lost. Looks like Scott might have taken a couple of laps trying to cool the tires down, and then he is getting back on it because he is now closed back down over half a second on Yuho. Giancarlo in third, 2.3 seconds back from Nalawi. He's starting to pick up a little bit of pace. And we've seen this week in and week out, Giancarlo definitely has one of the fastest long-run cars consistently. Seems to save tires and make it grip longer than everybody else and make it fast longer than everybody else. But Simon Zierk has been right on his bumper all night or all morning long. Yuho now coming. Harry was the first one to pit road, and here comes Yuho to lap him. Harry trying so hard to hold on to the lead lap. He was in great position. Has already pitted. He should not have to stop again But Yuho has caught him and now is in his draft, so it is only a matter of time before Yuho dives it into turn one like that, but can't get around him yet. Down into the second hairpin. Harry goes wide, lets Yuho by. Not going to fight him, trying to hold on. Possibly going to use Yuho to carry some more speed around, getting the draft down the straightaway. Just past halfway, we should start seeing the green flag pit stops, and there you go. Ryan Snyder is on pit road. Ronnie is on pit road. And this might be where Harry's strategy allows him to claw back a lot of positions. Harry was the first one to pit road about 15 minutes into the race. As soon as he knew he could go the distance, he hit pit road. Simon Zierk has hit pit road. He gave up 4th place. Do not expect Giancarlo on pit road for a long time. He is one that does everything he can to save as much fuel and save the car as much as possible. Simon Zierk already back up off of pit road. It looks like Ryan Snyder and Ronnie both getting tires. It looks like we are seeing a few drivers that have rethought the no tire race here. Ryan Snyder got 4 tires. He is coming off pit road. I think Ronnie must have gotten a penalty. He is on pit road way too long. Hopefully those 4 tires will help Ronnie get back towards the front. Could see an interesting situation too with these guys that get 4 tires. That first lap on cold tires, the first 2 laps actually, on the cold tires are going to make that car a little bit sketchy. The 113 degree track temperature will definitely help those tires heat up more quickly, but Harry, the first car to pit road, has now started picking up spots. He is in 14th. But remember, he did not get tires. Ryan Snyder in 15th will be one to watch to see how far he can make his way forward. Ronnie is now off pit road, and Manuel Esteban is on pit road. Looks like Manuel just getting fuel. Simon Zierk gave up 4th place to come to pit road, and he got a filled up on fuel only. He only lost 2 positions on pit road. Now it is Yuho out front, Scott Malawi in 2nd. 3rd place is Giancarlo. Avery Walker in 4th. Interesting. Let's take a ride with Giancarlo because I think... Nope, there he goes. He makes the dive to the inside and 1 to pick up the position. We've seen Giancarlo back off in recent races. If he gets the opportunity to draft somebody, he'll use it to save the fuel and stretch it even further. Going down that long straightaway, you can see Scott Malawi just ahead, 2.7 seconds ahead. Malawi on to pit road. 2nd place has come to pit road. Now Giancarlo will take 2nd place. Expect Yuho in the next few laps, and do not expect to see these guys change tires. I'll be surprised if we see any more tire changes inside the top 10. Clayton Allen has been to pit road. He did not take tires. Ray Bartnowski has been to pit road. He did not take tires. Scott Nalowi sitting on pit road. No tires for Scott. Most of these drivers will not take tires, although we have seen a couple of them, including Ryan Snyder, who's currently running in 15th. We'll see if Ryan can make up a little bit of ground on those fresh tires. Looking to see if anybody else has taken. Ronnie took tires. Yuho is on pit road. Giancarlo is on pit road. Avery Walker is on pit road. All three of them coming in close together. I'm surprised to see Giancarlo coming to pit road just now. Nobody getting tires here, only fuel. Mike Marshall assumes the lead for the first time today. Yuho is off pit road already. Scott Nalawi off pit road. Giancarlo off pit road. Avery Walker on his way off pit road. Jason Wahlberg coming to pit road. Green flag pit stops underway. Things might shake up just a little bit here. Yuho comes off of pit road 3.5 seconds ahead of Scott Nalawi, and Giancarlo still 2 seconds back from there. Simon Zierk another 2 seconds back. Avery Walker now 6.6 seconds back. He made up time on pit road. He was over 8 seconds back earlier. But Mike Dolling right behind Avery now. And Ray Bartnowski has another issue. Ray sending it into that final turn a little too hard. The back end breaks out. He goes around. And everybody doing great wreck avoidance. Holy cow, the leaders go by. He is losing so much ground, he ended up towing to pit road. Nick Sorensen on pit road now. Mike Marshall has not been to pit road. He is still in the lead. And a heartbreaking day for Ray Bartnowski, who is extremely fast in practice. He did not have his best qualifying run, but he had speed and consistency in practice. Just a lot of bad luck here today. He is now back to 18th on pit road. Having to tow, that is going to extend his time on pit road even further. Mike Dolling now comes to pit road, leaving Mike Marshall as the only lead lap car that has not been to pit road yet. And he is shifting right. Here comes Mike Marshall to pit road. Yuho coming down the long back straightaway. And out of the final turn, Yuho will retake the lead here. Scott Nalawi now to second. Giancarlo to third. Simon Zierk in fourth. Avery Walker will reclaim fifth. And would you look at that? Pit strategy is huge for Harry. He is now up to 7th place. Remember, he was the first one on pit road, took his fuel very early. And now, if he can indeed go the distance from here, he has made up a ton of ground. He started in 11th, did that early pit stop, dropped all the way back to 17th, and is now back up into 7th place. Great pit strategy by Harry here today. And of course, Clayton Allen, who's currently in 8th place, he has made up 11 spots since the start of this race. He is 8 seconds back from Harry, though. With 16.5 minutes, or a little under 17 minutes left to go, will he be able to make up enough ground to pick up 7th place? And he has Jason Wahlberg in 9th place, right behind him as well. Nick Sorensen has recovered from his early incident. He is now back up into 10th. Let's take a lap with Yuho and let's watch his speeds again. Comes down into turn 1, hitting about 127. You see, he gets in there really low, but getting back on throttle very quickly. Down into the big left-hand hairpin. Then getting up to speed, coming through the right-hand hairpin for the run down the long straightaway, hanging right on the inside. Let's see if he's still getting the same speed we saw earlier. Yes, he is. He's still hitting 130, 132 miles an hour down the long straightaway. Still making those old tires work really well off the turn. Back down through that first turn, he is just carrying a ton of speed. Obviously, we've talked about it in recent weeks, how maneuverable those Porsches really, really are. Scott Nalawi in second, 5 seconds back now from Yuho in first. Then Giancarlo currently in third, 7 seconds back out of the lead, but still a great points day for Giancarlo. He is way out in front in points, 13 points ahead of Yuho, but could today be the day that things turn around and Yuho starts making his way back to the front of the points? Avery Walker comes in today third in points. He's currently running in fifth. And consistency has been Avery's advantage here. No matter what happens on track, he's had the top 5 just about every single race. Simon Zierk in fourth has started making up points in recent weeks as well. Gregorio not here today. Came into today 5th in points. Max, oh goodness, Simon Zierk gets into a lap car. Ronnie is right there. That was Chris Perry, who was running in 13th. Coming into that final horseshoe, Simon Zierk just drives it in there. And oh, Chris Perry had to check up. The back end started to come around. Let's take a quick, let's try and get a good angle on Simon. The front of Simon's car does not look like he took too much damage. Ronnie, however, looks like he might have taken a bit more significant damage on the front of that Audi. Yes, he did. We'll see if that impacts him at all, but obviously the front end pushed in, and yes, significant damage. He was behind and just came storming into the corner, didn't have enough time to get on the brakes. Chris Perry got back out on track. He was running in 14th, really didn't lose any ground. Ronnie is actually the spot behind him. But Ronnie 1 lap behind, so not a lot of ground lost, but definitely a loss of momentum. Meanwhile, Yuho continuing to lap cars. Mike Dolling right in front of him is currently in 11th. And once Yuho gets around Dalling, that'll leave 10 cars on the lead lap. 10th place is Nick Sorensen, but he is not that far ahead of Yuho. 11 minutes left, though. You got to wonder how many more cars Yuho can get here. And you know, Yuho is thinking about points just a little bit, I would imagine, because Giancarlo in third, he stands to pick up quite a few points here today. Simon Zierk in fourth. Avery Walker currently in fifth. So the top three would pretty much stay the same after this race, except for the fact that Giancarlo's lead would shrink a little. Worth noting, Clayton Allen is still in 8th place. He is 3.2 seconds behind Harry, but he has had the biggest move of the race. He started in 19th. He is up to 8th, having an epic run here today. Also, can't say enough about Harry's strategy here today. Harry started back in 11th. He was the first car on pit road. About 15 minutes or so into the race, he hit pit road for his one fuel stop. He drifted back to 17th and now runs in 7th place. He's not exactly been slow out there either. He has picked up positions on track, but then once pit stop cycled through, Harry showed he had quite possibly the best strategy today. Mike Marshall currently running in 6th. Avery Walker in 5th. Simon Zierk in 4th. Giancarlo currently the points leader in 3rd. Scott Malawi in 2nd. And Yuho way out front. Yuho is actually extending the lead now. It is almost 7 seconds. And another interesting note here. The average fall off on lap times due to nobody having pitted is between 0.5 to 0.7 of a second right now. But in this last 10 minutes, we might see even more fall off. Yuho's fastest lap time of 53.29, his last lap a 53.95. So just under 0.7 of a second, but we're going to be watching those times closely to see. A couple of the drivers did say in practice that they would be taking it easy early on if they could and trying to save as much tire as possible, knowing that the last 15 minutes or so of the race, the tires would just be shot. We'll try and remember to ask some of these guys to tell us what their tire usage, how much tire they had left. Especially that left front, which is taking so much abuse here today. And honestly, Yuho is running the lowest line through those right-hand hairpins. I don't know how that left front is not just completely gone. A couple of the drivers did mention they were going to be moving the brake bias back as far as they could without losing the back end. So some of these guys trying to balance the tire wear to the back end to hopefully mitigate some of the tire wear. And Giancarlo has closed up. He is right there on the back bumper of second place Scott Malawi. Seeing a little bit different pit strategy out of Giancarlo today, and Giancarlo is now looking for second place. Giancarlo seems to be getting off these turns way better than Scott Malawi right now, but down into the right-hand hairpin, down the long back straightaway. Giancarlo has the advantage. Scott Malawi moving out of line, trying to eliminate the draft and force Giancarlo to the outside. Harry has come to pit road. He did not get enough fuel when he stopped. Oh, he is getting tires. Harry is picking up tires right now. He was running in 7th place after that early pit stop. An interesting strategy here for Harry. Meanwhile, this battle for second continues. Giancarlo keeps looking for a way around. Oh, a little bit of a blink there for Giancarlo. Coming towards the long straightaway. Will Scott Malawi drop back down? He's trying to break the draft and trying to make sure that Giancarlo has to pass him on the high side through the final turn. Doesn't move out of line this time. Across the start-finish line, 5 minutes left. Can Giancarlo do anything with the Porsche of Scott Malawi? Jason Wahlberg is back on pit road. I'm guessing this is just a fuel stop, but an interesting situation to see him on pit road. Harry has left pit road, but he went from 7th back to 13th now. Looks like he will... Oh, hit Chris Perry. They get together. Harry on those fresher tires just drove so... Oh, Harry got a little loose and then he clipped him. Manuel Gomez gets caught in that as well. Harry stopping to let Chris Perry back out on track. That is just a sign of how great of sportsmen these guys are in this league. They do a great job of making sure they don't, if they wreck somebody, they let them back in front, trying to be fair and clean as possible. Now Harry on fresh tires, probably going to get Chris Perry here and Ryan Snyder. Ryan Snyder managing to slip by. Harry is really sending it. Now he's going to try and get Snyder on turn 1. Can't get there yet. Oh, this 4-car battle is getting very interesting, to be sure. They're getting extremely close to each other in the corners, but you got these guys behind, Ryan Snyder, Chris Perry. They have to know Harry is on fresh tires. Harry down to the inside. And is he going to take Chris Perry down the back straightaway? He can't get there yet. Jumps up to the high side as he goes into the final turn. And Harry on the high side is going to come back to 12th place now. Sorry, Harry is now 22 seconds back from Ryan Snyder. I thought that's a lap car mixed in. Holy cow. Chris Perry has a brief off track and things get really sketchy with the cars behind him. Giancarlo still just following Scott around. He has not been able to get the momentum again to get around him. It looks like Scott's actually opening up a bit of a gap on him at times. And meanwhile, these two are battling. Yuho is just maintaining that 6.5 second lead right now. You can see the difference, and Harry, right now, the lap times are really starting to go up as tire wear is an issue for a lot of these drivers now. But Harry, he is still running some of his fastest laps. Although the gap to Ryan Snyder now 21 seconds, just over 21 seconds. I don't think he's going to have enough time to make that up. Yuho will probably not get the white flag on this one. And last time by, Yuho almost 7-second lead. And Yuho should get the white flag this time. He's got lap traffic coming up. He can easily back up and back off and avoid having to deal with the lap traffic. Just have a smooth run to the finish. There you see the lap traffic right in front of Yuho. He does not have to push that car at all. White flag in the air for Yuho. Scott Nalawi in second. Giancarlo now 1.3 seconds back in third. No, he has probably lost the opportunity. Simon Zierk coming up to fourth now. Avery Walker in fifth. Mike Marshall sixth. Nick Sorensen seventh. Clayton Allen, the biggest mover of the race, in eighth place. Mike Dolling ninth, and Janet Gunther in 10th. And Harry, despite the late pit stop, is still in 12th. But Yuho coming down the back straightaway for the last time. Coming through the final turn, the checkered flag is in the air, and Yuho wins again. Last season's champion takes his first checkered for the season. Scott Nalawi coming in second. Giancarlo, the points leader, now finishes in third. Simon Zierk is fourth, and Avery Walker comes home fifth. Mike Marshall is sixth. Nick Sorensen has an amazing recovery after his early incident to seventh. Clayton Allen just stormed through the field today. He comes home in eighth. Mike Dolling finishes ninth, and Janet Gunther comes home 10th. Ryan Snyder 11th. Harry comes home in 12th after some interesting pit strategy. Jason Wahlberg 13th. Ronnie is 14th. Chris Perry is 15th. Manuel Esteban is 16th. Matthew Allen 17th. 18th is Ray Bartnowski. Daniel Ware, Martin Johnson 19th and 20th did not grid. Let's see if we can get a quick word with Yuho. Hey Yuho, it's Doug. You got me? Hey Yuho, it's Doug in the booth. You got me?
I got you. Good day, good day.
Hey man, congratulations. It looked like it was going to be a crazy battle early on, but after pit stops, you just kind of walked away.
Yeah, that was this track really suits for Porsche. It was really kind of comfortable and nice with that car, and a little bit traffic there, so Scott fell behind that much that without the drag, then I could just, let it go relaxed. If you ever can relax on this bloody track.
Oh yeah, this is not an easy track to relax on. There's about one place you can relax. It's down that back straightaway.
Yeah, but extremely good driving, from everybody. We kind of thought that it's going to be a carnage on this track, but really clean race. Not that much happening, I think. So good one.
It was a really clean race. And I have to ask, through those hairpins, you were running actually lower than everybody else. You were right on the rumble strips in a couple of them where everybody else was putting a little bit of space there. I really thought tire wear would be an issue doing that, but obviously you saved something.
Yeah, I obviously had more straight braking line, so I had a different way of driving than Scott. I was braking very hard, straight, and going with the kind of a low speed on the rumble strip, and then again like hitting the throttle on straight wheels. So I didn't slide sideways at all actually on the race. So I haven't actually checked what's my tire wear, so it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, okay, 57.
Yeah, okay. I was about to ask that because, I can tell you from my experience last night, this track really wears the tires out.
Yeah, if you let it slide, for sure it does. But that's the thing that I didn't have anybody really on back of me on the last half of the race, so I could just choose my own line and drive how I please. So that helps. You know, if you're pushed, then it's really hard to keep the tires alive.
Well, Giancarlo has pretty much dominated the season until now, but is this the point where you start making your way forward for another championship?
I hope. Let's see if these two tracks are being good for Porsche. So let's see how it goes on the next track, which is again, I think Lambo has a bit of a edge there. So let's see how it goes.
All right, man. Well, congratulations and good luck for that second championship.
Thanks. Cheers.
All right, let's see if we can get a hold of Scott Malawi. Hey, Scott, it's Doug. You got me? Hey, Scott, this is Doug in the booth. You got me? Oh, it looks like Scott is currently muted, so we'll see if we can get a hold of Giancarlo if he hasn't left yet. Hey, Giancarlo, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug.
Hey, okay, first question. You've said you're going to stick with the Lambo all season, and I have to ask, after seeing the dominance of the Porsche today, are you going to continue on the Lambo, or are you going to play with the different cars a little?
Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, I tried to practice a bit in the Porsche, and I think it was a little bit faster, but again, I just came to the same conclusion of previous weeks that it's faster for me over the course of a few laps, but over, the 65 that this race was, I think I was still overall would have been faster in the Lambo. And so right now I'm still sticking with the Lambo, but we'll see in future weeks. Maybe there'll be some superior Porsche race that I'll change cars.
I have to ask because it's obviously a question that came up. How much tire wear did you have?
Not bad, but I think my front left, as I check right now, had about 70 as the worst. But yeah, I mean, it was brutal. It was incredibly hot, and you could definitely feel it even, 5 to 10 laps in, how much it was falling off.
Well, it didn't seem to slow you down. I think you actually had the fastest lap of the race, which is truly impressive on a track that has these tight turns. And having tested the Lambo here, it's not exactly easy. No, I'm sorry, Scott did.
Oh, yeah, by 4 tenths. I don't know how he did that lap. That was amazing.
Yeah, he definitely was fast today. And this car is not easy to get around this track. So that the run you had today is truly impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a fun race. I mean, obviously very tight overall, but great racing all around.
And with Yuho winning, that closes up the points battle just a little bit. Are you a little bit worried?
Oh, maybe a little bit. I mean, Yuho has just shown his pace. He's incredibly fast, but I'm looking forward to the future races and actually getting some side-by-side racing with him.
All right, man. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a good one.
And it does look like Scott Malawi has disappeared. Unfortunately, so we won't get an interview with him, but great run out of Scott. The fastest lap of the race, and by over a tenth over Yuho and 3/10 over Giancarlo. So that's a truly impressive run out of Scott Malawi today. And it is definitely an interesting race. Obviously, tire wear and tire saving playing a big factor today. But everybody doing an amazing job. And like you heard a couple of guys say, They expected a bit of carnage, but man, they had a clean race. All things considered, a lot of great give and take, and a lot of room given, and very few incidents. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you tune in for BRR tonight. We'll have some new exciting features in the BRR Cup Series and the Fast and Fun ARCA Series tonight as well, starting at 7:30 Eastern. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys had as much fun as I did, and we will see you tonight.